talking about during the time that you were working for Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
Can you list all the girls that you found for Jeffrey Epstein that were under the age of 18 to come work for him in any capacity?
Check the form of the foundation.
So I didn't find girls. I didn't look for girls.
You choose the word.
Well, no, you don't choose the word. If you have a question, ask it.
List all of the girls that you met and brought to Jeffrey Epstein's home for the purposes of employment that were under the age of 18.
Check the form of the foundation.
I've already characterized what my job was, which was to find people, adults.
She is a monster. She's worse than Epstein. She did things even worse than Epstein did. She was vicious, she was evil, and she's a woman.
In hundreds of emails in the Epstein files, Jeffrey Epstein boasted of being close friends with upper echelon celebrities, the elite of the elites, so to speak. According to receipts, Epstein and his longtime girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, used these connections to lure their victims in. Insiders claim that Ellen DeGeneres was allegedly one of the names they used very often for this particular sinister purpose. During one of her interviews, Ghislaine Maxwell reportedly confessed to the FBI how she targeted and enticed her victims by promising them eye-catching roles as models, movie stars, or simply a spot on Ellen DeGeneres' show, one of the greatest daytime TV shows at the time. However, receipts say that this promise was not necessarily because Ghislaine admired Ellen. According to investigative resources, it was the entire opposite. Ghislaine Maxwell allegedly feared Ellen DeGeneres, and when you peel back the layers of what we're about to show you, it's not so hard to see why. According to what we now know from the Epstein files, Ghislaine Maxwell was much more than Jeffrey Epstein's eye candy girlfriend. She was the brains behind it all. And even though she tried to cover her tracks really well, she still got exposed.
FBI agents arrested Ghislaine Maxwell yesterday, nearly 1 year to the day after Epstein was arrested. She faces 6 charges, including illegally transporting minors and perjury.
The date was July 2nd, 2020, when the FBI descended on a quiet 156-acre estate in Bradford, New Hampshire. This was a property Ghislaine had reportedly bought months earlier through an anonymous LLC in an all-cash deal, in a town where she had no other known connections. She'd been hiding in plain sight, living a life of quiet privilege, while the women who say she helped destroy their lives carried the weight of what happened to them. That morning, agents took her into custody without incident, and by the afternoon, she was waiving her right to a detention hearing, already being prepared for transfer to New York. But what exactly was Ghislaine Maxwell accused of doing for Jeffrey Epstein? According to prosecutors, she wasn't just his girlfriend or his socialite arm candy. She was allegedly the architect of Epstein's entire pipeline. She would allegedly pretend to take an interest in young girls, build their trust, convince them that Epstein could pay for their education, their travel, their future, and all the while she was reportedly setting them up. Prosecutors said that Ghislaine pretended to be a woman they could trust, while allegedly preparing them for Epstein and other members of his circle. And here's where it gets even more chilling. Former staff have described Ghislaine Maxwell as the one actually running the household, coordinating everything, making sure Epstein was happy. She allegedly controlled who could speak to him, where he could travel to, what he could do, and even what he could eat. Which brings us to the link that ties Ellen DeGeneres into this loop and exposes the shocking details of why Ghislaine Maxwell allegedly feared her. When the Pizzagate conspiracy began in 2016, it shook society to its core. It peeled back layers of a dark underground society, and for the first time, people got a glimpse of the other side of Hollywood. However, a few years down the line, the media buried the case completely, with only whispers of it left in quiet corners of the internet. That is until the release of the Epstein files, where words like grape soda, jerky, and pizza resurfaced once again, finally confirming all our doubts that the so-called elites of society were not so elite after all. And at the top of their supply chain was reportedly none other than Chef Francis J. Derby. In the Epstein files, Francis J. Derby comes up at least 1,000 times, and here is one of his most disturbing emails where he wrote, "Just wanted to touch base about jerky. Jeffrey Epstein said he was going to start eating regular food again, so he might be eating less jerky. That said, he has 6 bags of it in the downstairs freezer for his next trip. I believe it should be enough to get him through." Reports have now revealed that Francis J. Derby was also Ellen DeGeneres' private chef. Insiders say he allegedly provided a similar service for Ellen as he did for Jeffrey Epstein, which brings us to this shocking revelation from the Epstein files.
That the Epstein files reveal Ellen DeGeneres as, and I'm quoting this directly from the posts, Hollywood's most prolific cannibal, that she consumed human People are sharing distorted images of her face, writing paragraphs about underground dystopias, calling her a vampire.
What happens when you tie this to that chilling interview with Sandra Bullock, where they openly talked about using adrenochrome and harvested skin to stay young?
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these, some of you, I think many of you know it, and it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes the
What are you pushing into the skin, Sandra?
Sarah?
Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby. That's what it is.
Okay.
Sources claim that this ties into the unfortunate and untimely demise of Ellen DeGeneres' ex-girlfriend Anne Heche, who mysteriously passed from a car accident while allegedly being on the run. Reports claim that Anne Heche was in the middle of teasing a documentary to allegedly expose Ellen DeGeneres when she suddenly passed.
Actress Anne Heche remains in a coma after that fiery car crash. Her condition is far worse than originally believed.
Oh my gosh.
According to her spokesperson, she's in critical condition and on a ventilator. Her burns will require surgical intervention, and she has significant pulmonary injury.
She looked up top and said, "Hey, can I buy that red wig?" I said, "Sure." So I went up to grab it for her. I told her, I said, "It's not cut or styled." She says, "No worries, I want it anyway."
Did she appear in any way inebriated or drunk or impaired?
She did not. She wasn't slurring her words. She had bright, beautiful blue eyes. She was just a sweet girl.
According to sources, this is similar to the demise of Ellen's producer, Stephen Twitch Boss, whom insiders claim was also reportedly threatening to expose Ellen at the time of his demise.
On Wednesday, news broke that Stephen Twitch Boss died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And now, ET has learned that the former Ellen Show DJ left a note behind indicating that he couldn't go on.
I just wanted to say the past 11 days have been really tough for everyone. But to honor Twitch, I think the best thing that we can do is to laugh and hug each other.
What happens when you tie these mysterious chains of events to the same pattern that Epstein victims get silenced? Because when you take a step closer, the storyline becomes all too similar to ignore. Take Virginia Giuffre, for instance. She was a victim of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and she was one of the loudest voices in the fight for justice. But unfortunately, she never found the justice she sought.
I was a baby stuck in a world where grown-ups were allowed to do whatever they wanted, and I was lost.
It's such a shiny, glossy world, that one, full of celebrities and wealth. But beneath, it's nothing like that, it seems.
Money should not be able to buy you the power to get away with hurting people, and it's not normal. I don't care how rich you are. You have the privilege of being wealthy. Great, fantastic. Do something great about it. Do something good with your money. I mean, how evil do people have to be to just let that happen?
On April 25th, 2025, Virginia Giuffre reportedly passed from a self-inflicted wound. Sources claim that she intentionally walked into a busy road in the middle of the day. However, this goes against everything Virginia stood for. Months prior, Virginia herself wrote a lengthy social media post saying that she would never take her own life, which turned out to be the exact opposite of how media outlets say she passed. This has led the majority to believe that her demise was unnatural and most likely planned. Allegedly similar to Anne Heche and Stephen Twitch Boss. Ellen's connection to Diddy and Naomi Campbell is another thread that pulling on it will lead to more shocking discoveries. But for now, we would like to know what your thoughts are about these strange reoccurrences and overlapping connections that throws Ellen into the same circle as Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. Reports on the tabloids leave chilling claims that Ellen's past may be catching up to her with an incurable disease related to years of pizza consumption.
Because I have this crazy idea that I will order pizza. And so if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer, yes? Harrison?
While we wait to hear more details about that, let us know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button too. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.